Oh, really?
Okay.
All right, we're going to start, and welcome to the March Travelogue. Glad you're all here. We have right now 42 people. Hopefully we'll get more. And what would be good is if you would turn off your videos and your audios while videos are playing. And somebody remind me to do the same thing, because I have a bad habit of leaving my face on. I don't mean to. So I have to turn my video off also. So Chuck Gremmel, you have to turn your video off. And let's see, Sadie Albertson, maybe that's your picture, that's okay. And Phil, there you go. So tonight we are going to have 3 travelogues and then a small one that take us out of the travelogue. So we have 3, and is Kirk Hively here today? Kirk, are you on? Well, if he's not, I will introduce what his presentation is going to be. Kirk is going to be showing us a trip he took to Italy, Rome, Italy. I think it was in 1912. I'm not really sure. So I'm going to start that now, and if there are any questions or comments afterwards, turn on your video and your audio and ask, or you can do a chat. So I'm going to right now find that video, and here it goes. Kirk Hively's Italy trip 2012. And I have to turn my video off right now. Sorry, I'm going to stop it because I want to be sure this is done right. Hold on, give me a minute.
That's good. with the buses?
Like,
Well, I hold it. All right, I think that was it. Is Kirk around? Kirk Hively, are you around? My voice is on. Well, apparently he's not. Does anybody have any comments about the Italy trip? You can turn on your video and your unmute also.
Yeah, fantastic composition on most of his photos. I love that.
Yep, we'll tell him. Has anyone here been to Italy in the audience?
Oh, yes, to Rome 2 or 3 times.
Oh, Jenny, I've not seen you.
I'm there.
Okay.
Okay.
So you've been there a few
Here I
times, huh? Good to see you.
Yeah. We love Rome.
All
And those
right.
were excellent photos.
And
It
Tom,
reminded me,
I'm
whoops.
sorry. Tom, did
It
you have a
reminded
question?
me, whoops, I'm sorry.
Who was speaking?
Catherine Vinson.
Oh, go, Catherine, go ahead.
I lived 15 years in Italy, and tonight I have tears in my eyes remembering.
Wow. So what do you remember most about it?
My favorite city was Venice. I lived an hour from Venice. The thing that I remember most about Italy is the history behind it, the friendliness of the people, the beauty of the country and the people, the background of the Etruscans and the Romans. I love the marketplaces. I love seeing cheese hanging in the window, fruit in baskets. It's just a beautiful, wonderful country.
Beautiful place, huh? So what's the famous part of Italy that people like going to? Tuscany, right?
Yes, usually Tuscany, Florence, because it's the art center of the Western world.
No kidding. Wow. Sounds really, really nice. Tom, did you have a question?
No, you'd ask who'd been to Italy before. I'm in that group. Been to Rome, Venice, and Pisa. And of course, everybody in Pisa's got to do the old deal where you're holding up the Leaning Tower.
Right.
That's the mandatory photo there. The thing I remember most about Italy is the friendliness of the people. I mean, they were just awe-inspiring that way. It's almost like Linda's experience in Africa. You get the same sense of the people there in Italy. They're just so accommodating and so friendly.
And they don't hold back, do they, emotionally?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Jenny,
More so in the southern part than the northern.
I think my favorite place in Italy was the coffee shop in the Pordenone train station.
mhm.
The best coffee on the planet.
Oh, really? Did you bring
Yeah.
something back?
No, I wish I could.
Yeah. So Jenny, do you have anything else?
Well, I just remember taking the subway to the Vatican one day, and I sat down and everyone thought I was Italian. And I could only speak a combination of French, English, and Italian, which I called Fritalian. And I sat down, and this little lady next to me started in and just talked and talked and talked. And I finally had to put up my hands and say, I don't speak Italian. And she didn't believe me.
She thought you did, huh? You don't speak Fritalian.
Oh, I speak Fritalian, but I don't speak Italian.
Not Italian. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Anybody else have a comment or anything that we can pass on to Kirk? I have 2 chats. Fantastic composition. This is from Linda.
Paul,
And That's all. And from Phil Rock, did I have 2 videos playing? No. I hope that we didn't hear 2 soundtracks. Hope it was okay. I have to remember to click on 2 little boxes and be sure I turn my video off. Yell at me if I don't, okay? So now, if I could get Bob Allen. Bob, are you there?
I'm here.
Could you tell us what you're going to be showing us?
These are a collection of lesser known venues along the Southern California coast from San Diego to Los Angeles. You don't go to the big places like San Juan Capistrano, Catalina Island. These are some little places that we were on a number of various tours. So I think the video speaks for itself, Paul.
Okay, very good. And people will have questions at the end, and we'll show this. We'll do the best we can to do justice for you. Okay, so here we go. Let me turn off my video. And I'm going to do share screen. I'll turn yours on, Bob. Here we go. Hold on. Count to 3 and it should be going. It's one. All right. All right, Bob,
Yes.
where are you?
Home.
There he is. Well, you found some interesting places. Has anybody been to any of those places that Bob showed us? If you have a comment, just turn on your screen and turn on your, unmute yourself if you have a comment.
Good music.
Bob, it's Nancy Gray. Thanks so much. Makes me want to go on a road trip to California now.
Thank you.
And I loved your wildlife shots. Those were really, they were just wonderful to see.
It was a very interesting walk.
So Bob, what made you pick those particular places?
They are places that most people don't go. If you go to San Diego, you go to the zoo or the animal park. If you go to Los Angeles, you go everywhere else except these little places.
Right.
The Power Museum is in Orange County, lower part of Orange County. So,
This is part of the tour, you might say.
and this was part of a tour that we took, actually two different tours, pleasure bent tours in 2019.
2019. The auto museum was very interesting.
It is. They have a basement that you cannot photograph in, but a basement probably 50 or 50,000 square feet of old cars.
Wow. Really big, huh?
Really big.
Wow. So who else has a comment? I have some chats. Let me check them out.
I thought,
Okay, go ahead. Who's talking?
I'm Catherine Vinson.
Okay.
I loved your photos, but I thought your music was wonderful. It was very appropriate. Every time you changed your grouping of photos, the music was perfect for that grouping.
Well, thank you very much.
Here's Dean and Carolyn wrote a note, love the whimsy and also the lovely views of the sea lions.
Yes.
Captions needed to be a little longer, maybe, for people who haven't been to these places. But you did find some real jewels, Bob. Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have comments, please? All right, well, let's try to reward him for all his work. That's very well done, Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing it with us. All right, now Bob George is going to tell us about a trip he took. So Bob, you want to explain what we're going to be seeing?
Yeah, no problem. My daughter, over the years, had done a lot of work with Doctors Without Borders. She did logistics type work. In most places she went to, I was unable to visit because they were war zones. But then she got an assignment in Moscow, and she was there for a year and a half. So I was able to go visit with her. And while there, we went 3 places, obviously Moscow and St. Petersburg. And the third place was a little town called Suzdal, which was bypassed when they built the railroad. So as a result, it's kind of maintained its old kind of feel. And of course, it has its own Kremlin. And in Russian, a Kremlin just means fort, and a monastery. And one of the more interesting things was a wooden architecture museum where they had brought and reconstructed wooden structures from all over Russia. So with that, I'll let you start the show.
All right, very good. And here we go.
Well done.
All right. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Bob, what most impressed you there?
Well, a couple things. First of all, people were very respectful of older people. I would get on the subway and young girls would get up to give me their seat because the subways were always packed. And the reason for that is they have a lot of respect for their generation that fought World War II. So wherever you go, there's memorials. In Russia, they had, in Moscow, they had the display of those honor cities, which were cities that suffered a lot during the war. And in Leningrad, the museum about the 900-day siege. So number one, people were very respectful. The subway system was, when Stalin built it, he built it as the People's Museum. So there were sculptures, crystal chandeliers. When we got back from to get to Suzdal, we first took a train to Vladimir, and then we had to take like a city bus into Suzdal. And when we got back to Moscow, we got on the subway. It was in the evening on Sunday, and they were playing classical music. So it was quite nice. But generally, the people were very friendly. The hardest thing in getting ready to go was applying for a visa. First thing, you had to be invited. So then I found a travel agent that for $40 would send you an invitation. And then you had to, on the visa application, you had to pretty much give your whole family history, where your parents worked and so on and so forth. And they have a lot of bureaucracy. You know, when you get into passport control, when you get there, they got a clerk typing away all the information that's already on your visa, and they give you a piece of paper with that, and you got to get it registered once a week. So, but generally the people were very friendly. The one thing that helped, I did learn before I went, I made an effort to learn the Cyrillic alphabet, which gave me a chance at least to read signs when we were walking around. And my daughter knew enough Russian in order to get a work permit there. She had to pass a test in some elementary level of Russian language as well as Russian history. The history test was pretty easy. It was like, who was the general that defeated Napoleon? It was that Kazan. So,
Oh, really? I looked up in Russia. I was curious when the country started. It was the year 862, the very first, when it first began. That surprised me. It's been about 1,200 years.
Yeah, they have a lot of history. And then that canal boat ride, when Peter the Great came to power, he did a tour of Europe, and he tried to build St. Petersburg like Venice. So it's got a lot of canals.
Oh, wow. Did anyone, let me see if I can, I'm looking at right now at chats, okay? My bucket list just got a bit longer. Okay, George, did you have a comment, George?
Yes, how many
Go ahead.
days were you in St. Petersburg?
Well, my total trip was about 10 days, and probably half of that was in St. Petersburg. You saw some snow on the ground at the beginning of the show. I was there like the first or second week in October, and they already were getting some snow. And being that they're so far north, the days are really short.
And what time of the year did you say that was?
October.
October.
What year was that?
2015.
Did you still have to have that little paper to get out of Russia? They gave you a little square, and when you went in, and if you didn't give that square back, Well, they said you wouldn't want to know what would happen.
Yes, that was that little square of paper that the clerk at the passport control when you entered the country was typing away. And it
Yes.
basically had all the same information that was on your visa. And if you didn't lose it, you were in deep, if you did lose it, you were supposedly in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Here's a comment. I love the photos of architecture. Another one was, it's really amazing that so much of the Tsarist era, the Russian Orthodox religion, and other traditional architecture and heritage has survived given the impact of the Communist Revolution,
Yeah.
Stalinist era, and World War II had on the country. And very interesting, beautiful architecture. I
Well, you
know
know, a lot of those churches had different purposes during the communist era. That church that spilled blood, I think they used to store grain and everything else there. I did see a Lutheran church that during the communist times had been converted to a swimming pool.
Wow.
So, but the people there seem to be quite religious. Riding a city bus, you know, you go by a church and you'd see ladies making a sign of the cross and stuff like that.
Mm.
And during the Tsarist time, obviously, the church helped the Tsars keep control over things. It's a real union. If you went into the churches, there were basically 3 thrones, one for the Tsar, one for the Tsarita, and one for the bishop. So,
boy. I noticed a lot of gold statuary and gold decorations.
oh yeah, my first thought when I saw that was no wonder they had a revolution.
Wow. Because the money was all concentrated, huh?
Right. Well, yeah, and you could tell, you know, like at the museum at the Kremlin, the Tsars must have employed a lot of artisans to create all that nice art.
Pretty amazing. Did Ed Baker have a question? Ed, you got to turn on your audio. Ed, you got to turn your audio. I don't think he heard.
Should add that peacock clock. I got the movie of it working. They operate it one night a week on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
The peacock
So
clock.
we plan to be at the Hermitage to see that.
Oh. Interesting. That's what that was, huh? A peacock clock. I see.
I had absolutely no idea about any of this, Bob. So this is a whole new world opening to me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Linda.
And did you feel like you were in a whole new world?
Absolutely.
Or were you relatively comfortable there?
Yes.
Bob, you said the people were friendly,
right?
And you felt welcomed. Apparently,
I didn't feel threatened. I should say I got my pocket picked the last night I was there.
You did,
but that happens in any big cities.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. Yeah, but,
when we were there,
as long as I didn't talk, I looked like everybody else.
Wow.
And it was interesting. You go to a restaurant, and a lot of them had a menu in English or in Russian. So my daughter would get the Russian menu, and I would get the English menu, and we try to compare notes. There was not 100% correlation between what they said in English, what they really meant in Russian. So.
Wow.
And
when we were, excuse me,
you might have
go
a
ahead.
menu in English, but your waiter didn't speak English. So.
Well, it's an interesting. Does anyone else have comments? Feel free.
Okay, I was just going to say, when my husband and I were there, it was a great trip and everything, but he would not stay in Russia overnight. So we were on the ship overnight.
Wow.
But it was a nice trip.
I had an issue when I filled out an application for a visa. They want to know where you're going to be staying. Well, I was going to be staying in my daughter's apartment, but I couldn't really put that down. So I had to list a couple hotels. So I just went on the internet, found a hotel in Moscow, a hotel in St. Petersburg, and listed them. Never made a reservation or anything.
Uh-oh.
Have to get the
Wow.
visa.
Dean, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there were any restrictions on where you could travel and what kind of photos you could take.
I didn't experience that. Although, where we were in Moscow and St. Petersburg and Suzhou primarily is a tourist town. So there were no restrictions going there. I'm sure there's restrictions on some other areas in Russia that you can't go to, but we didn't experience that. And you had to get you had to register your passport like every 6 or 7 days. And usually if you were staying at a hotel, they would do it for you. So the trip to Suzhou was right in the middle. So that's where I had my passport registered.
Every 6 or 7 days, huh?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
They watch you very carefully.
I guess so.
You feel safe because there's, it's good news and bad news. There's a pretty big presence of law enforcement.
Yes.
Careful what you say.
Yeah.
Careful what you do.
Right.
So Ed, are you on now? Ed, we can't hear you. You have to turn off, or you have to unmute yourself. No, I guess not. Well, anyone else? This is your last chance. That was a good one, Bob.
That was wonderful, Bob.
Good
Thank you.
memories. Good memories. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one more very short travelogue. Becky and I have done a little bit of traveling, desert traveling. This is 3.5 minutes. So it's really, really short. So we're going to show this to you on the way out. And I'll share this with you and turn off my video and we will go. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
These are all close by. That's it.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Gotta figure out how to get back on. Oh. Okay, so for next month, excuse me, let me tell you, Linda is going to be showing us the second part of her Africa presentation, if you remember that one.
Good.
And it's going to be a really nice one. If anyone else has a video or a presentation travelogue they would like to share, please contact me. It's in the directory. It's in your emails that you got today, I think, how to contact me. You can drop off a thumb drive at the plastic box right outside the door of the camera club. You can do that. You can call me, you can email me, whatever, so we can try to arrange it. So it'll be Linda's travelogue, and we will look for maybe 2 or 3 more. So any comments before you head out the door?
Very nice. Thank you.
All right. Well, Linda, we're looking forward to your adventure.
Oh, I just want to make a comment. I could see 1 or 2 of your pictures being in Arizona Highways magazine. They were beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you so much. The black and white one was my lovely wife's. It was a nice one, I thought, there at the end.
Paul, did you shoot that with your iPhone?
Most of those are iPhone.
Wow.
A couple of the sunset, really, really, really bright ones were done from McCain Road, if you know where that is, right by the Saguaro National Park, about 12 or 13 years ago in December.
Wow.
Yeah, but you hardly get any sunsets in Arizona, right? Go outside and close your eye and point the camera west, and you
Yeah.
have it, pretty much. So, well, thank you all for being here. Let's see if we have any more chats. Very enjoyable program. Thank you, Jenny. Kirk Hively, the black and white almost look like an infrared. Where is Kirk? You here, Kirk?
I apologize. I'm actually in Indiana and I forgot. I was sitting watching TV with my mom and forgot about this till about a half hour ago.
Looks like you're in Indiana on a boat.
The boat's in San Diego from a few years ago.
Yeah, well, we showed your Rome video. It was very good. And I see that you have others that you might be sharing with us at some point.
Yeah, I should be able to get in on the next one.
Okay, good, Kirk.
Oh, good.
Where are you in Indiana?
Close to Fort Wayne,
Oh, way up
the
north.
northeast corner. Weather's not too bad here right now.
Really? Wow. Okay, well, everyone, thanks for being here, and come back and see us next month. I guess it's the second Tuesday of April, right?
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Drive carefully.
Thanks for hosting this.
All right. You're welcome.